How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The Israel-Iran conflict is going to make Bitcoin investors rich. It's a fact. I'm going to explain why that is. And we also have some big XRP news. I know not everyone's an XRP fan on this channel, but it's indicative of something that's happening in all of crypto right now. And XRP is having a very nice day. It's up 7%, whether you like XRP or not. It's nice to see people getting some gains for the first time in a little while, right? The altcoin market has been a little bit slow. Bitcoin sitting right at 109,000. The traditional markets looking really good too. The S&P 500, I think, is just off its all-time high by 2%. JP Morgan just got a new patent that a lot of people are guessing is their new stablecoin. So we'll talk about that as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to subscribe, you can see future videos just like this. You might hear some breathing in the background. That's the Bitcoin baby. He is with me these days. A lot of my day is taken up with baby stuff, so apologize if you do hear some breathing in the background. This is how I can shoot videos right now, and don't worry, he's okay. He's just a very loud breather. We've got it taken care of. Now, if you want to trade crypto, there are links underneath the video. You can check out Bydfi. You can start trading in just a few minutes, and you can use crypto as collateral on your trade. So for example, right now I have a Bitcoin trade open with Bitcoin as my collateral. So I get paid back in Bitcoin. I also have one with XRP. I have XRP as collateral too. So I get paid back whatever profit I make. Let's say make 100% gains. Instead of getting paid back in USDT, I get paid back in the underlying collateral, which is then worth more. So check that out underneath the video. There's a link. Now, Bitcoin is sitting right around 109,000. We bumped up against 109,000 like 3 or 4 times. It looks like there may be some short liquidations, some big purchases. Last week, we obviously saw BlackRock buy a significant amount every single day, even when there was uncertainty over Israel and Iran. They bought thousands of Bitcoin every single day, so or at least 8,000 Bitcoin every single day. So would not be surprised to see more purchasing going on there or from some of these other Bitcoin treasury companies. There's so much buying going on, and this is when Bitcoin has been relatively boring. And I say that knowing full well it's within 3% of all-time highs, but retail isn't back in the market. Like, there are a lot of institutions that are trying to get their hands on Bitcoin, but you know, I still have conversations with people and we start talking about finance, and they're barely wondering about Bitcoin, or just kind of in the back of their mind, maybe they've thought about it once or twice, but they're not, trying to get their hands on Bitcoin right now, these no coiners. So this is interesting to see the treasury companies buy so much, because obviously when there's more retail demand, they're going to be able to buy a lot more Bitcoin, because when there's retail demand, there's also FOMO from institutions and hedge fund managers. And then we're going to see the floodgates open to see these treasuries scale even faster. Now, obviously, a lot of people are a bit concerned. Some people are concerned about the Israel-Iran conflict. There have been conflicting reports. I think generally the consensus is that Iran is talking about de-escalating the conflict. That's why the markets are up today. But obviously, there's some uncertainty. Now, what do politicians do whenever there's uncertainty? Well, they like to print. They like to be ready. They like to secure nice contracts for the powers that be, the defense contractors. They pay boatloads of money, and it's always a reason to print. Have you ever noticed that? Whenever there's uncertainty, conflict, difficulties in the economy, there's printing, because no politician wants to be the politician when there's a depression or a recession, right? So we continue to print more and more money. The global money supply is moving up, which is going to push up Bitcoin. It's going to push up indices. It's going to push up real estate. Basically anything that has any value, anything that is an investment, it's going to grow in value. So that's why I say, Bitcoin investors can make a lot of money from this conflict. And I'm not saying that's a good conflict. It's terrible. There are people dying. But if you're a smart investor, you can take advantage of this. Why? Because whenever there's fear, there's a dip in the market. So last week there was a dip. Now, was it a huge dip? No. That shows you how strong Bitcoin is right now. But we went from 107,000 or 112,000 the week before that to 103. So you got a nice 9% discount. A couple weeks ago, we were in the 90s. A couple months ago, we were in the $75,000 range. So just from there, investors have been able to get, a 45% return. If you used leverage, like I talk about with Bydfi, and you did like a 3x leverage, you would be up well over 100%. So there are numerous ways to make money in crypto right now. Obviously, the simplest is to dollar cost average, then maybe lever up a bit. And then there are also the treasury companies, right? But these kinds of conflicts always lead to more money printing. And what does better than any other asset in a time of expanding money supply? Bitcoin. Bitcoin does. Crypto assets do. Speaking of crypto assets that have been doing quite well today, we have XRP that has some big news. They're getting a spot ETF in Canada. It's going live in 2 days. And volumes on XRP are going nutty. Like the spot volume on Coinbase today, I saw it was reported at thousands of percent higher than it usually is. So a lot of people trying to trade maybe before the XRP ETF goes live, the spot ETF. I don't know if there's a way to get access to it in the US or UK, but you can apparently get it on the Canadian Stock Exchange. It will be interesting to see how long it takes for the US to start adopting or to start approving like the XRP ETF, Solana ETF. I saw that there's I think it was CoinShares today, filed for a Solana ETF too. Those will be very interesting. I plan on maybe moving some of my spot crypto into those ETFs. I think there's going to be more liquidity in those. There's going to be staking options in the future as well. But obviously, a lot of people have been watching what's happened to Bitcoin, and they think, well, there are a handful of companies that are buying XRP as well. A lot of people want XRP, so if they can get in retirement accounts, they might be even more likely to buy. So that could cause, some upwards price action. We're seeing XRP break out a little bit too. It's right on the verge of breaking its downtrend. So around that 230 mark is right where we're at, and it's kind of a key area right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, it's 48 hours before they announce or before you can start trading if you're in Canada, this spot XRP ETF. I would love the staking to get approved too for even Ethereum right now. That would be fantastic. I think that would draw a lot of capital. A lot of these bigger companies are already seeing significant inflows, like BlackRock seeing significant inflows into the Ethereum ETFs over the last couple of weeks. JP Morgan, it just came out that they have patented the JPMD, I believe, JPM dollar. That's what people are guessing. That's what it stands for. There's so many different banks that are working on stablecoins. Obviously, all of them have seen the profitability of Tether and of the Circle issuer as well, or USDC issuer Circle. So obviously, a lot of these banks are very interested in creating their own stablecoin. It's kind of the way of the future. And at some point, it might be the case that like you kind of need a stablecoin, just like you need online banking now. Like maybe everyone will need a stablecoin, who knows? Or there'll just be maybe some more universal stablecoins. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go. But of course, people will be a little bit careful of any CBDCs or anything that looks, smells, seems too much like a CBDC. So again, at the end of the day, stacking Bitcoin's probably the way. Bitcoin is going to do really well in my mind, and it might be worth getting your hands on some, right? Even if it's just 1% of your portfolio, based on how it's done in the past and based on the scarcity, it will probably outperform the rest of your portfolio over the next couple decades. Of Of course, I could always be wrong. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Thank you so much for watching. There are also links, like I said, to BTCC, to Bydfi underneath, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.